Good evening, all you plastic model builders out there. This is Dan Leone, Plastic Model Building 101. We are starting our Part 3 series of building the Tamiya 148 scale Spitfire Mk.Vb. In the previous scenes, we did our demonstration of parts prep with parts washing with Dawn, and also I showed you another way of cleaning your parts, and that's with the plastic prep. So now we're going to start our plastic model, our painting, interior painting, and the paint we're going to use is Model Master acrylics. Now I like acrylics because number one about acrylics that they're very easy to clean up. All you use is distilled water. I have here some distilled water and in this cup here that we're going to be using. This is the paint we're using. This is RAF Interior Green. This is found in most Spitfires and also Hawker Hurricanes and other British aircraft. So anyway, so here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our paint, shake it up real good. If you have to, you might want to also stir them as well too. So get them all nice and even. So anyway, I have these paint filters here. You can get these at any hardware store, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, or any hardware store, or Walmart. And we're just going to be very careful not any paint on the outside. And we're just going to strain the paint. Okay. Once that is done, we throw our plastic, our strainer away, and then we have a little eyedropper. I normally want to put in like maybe about between 1 or 2 drops of distilled water in the paint to thin it out. You don't want to get it too thin because then your paint will be too transparent, and you don't want that. So once that's done, I put in 3, just one for luck. Okay, we get our bottle cap here, we put it on here, make sure it's nice and snug, and we just shake it really good. Okay, nice and shook up and mixed. Okay, now we are ready to paint. Now I'm going to turn on, I have here my airbrush. This airbrush I usually use. This is a Wada airbrush. Basically, this is the one that you take the tip off, and you can either clean the tip out, or you can either that or you just exchange the tip. Turn on my airbrush. I usually use about maybe 10 to 20 psi. Make sure everything's all ready to go. And I have my cup here. And so now here's our. Now what I want to do is test my airbrush, make sure I'm at the right, and I have the right kind of paint in there. Well, not the right kind of paint, but also you want to make sure that your paint is at the right dilution. So what I do is I just pretty much what we want. This is what we want, basically. Now, if you have too much paint, what can happen, too much water, you'll get what they call spiders, or just splots all over. And you want to have it at a nice distance. Make sure it's nice and consistent. You don't want to put it too close because then it'll pool up. And you don't want that. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get our interior here. And what I like to do is I like to use the parch trees as a holder. So I got my paint booth over here. Hope you can see. I'll try to move it as best I can. And here we go. You want to make sure you had a good distance, because like I said, you don't want to get too much paint on your parts. Okay. Alright, we pretty much got our interior parts painted. It's really nothing to it. So we'll start our assembly in our next series. So this is Dan Leone, and I'll see you next time.